This is exciting. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So yes, we are live, and there are already few people that have already joined. I see four people at the back end. So welcome those who have joined us. Welcome to the U-Turn. If you are a new member, the U-Turn is a platform that is empowering our communities. We do like interviews, live discussion on topical issues to really inspire and educate, and sometimes to spotlight the excellent work of members within our community that are driving impact. So the U-Turn is a platform for empowerment. That is the message. The name U-Turn is the name change. So we are change advocates. So today I'm joined by my esteemed co-host Alakir. Yeah, Alakir is always a consistent face on this platform. And really, today we were supposed to be joined by one of our guest sisters. Maybe she might join later to really speak on the issue of women in fashion and how women are represented in fashion, in media, and what stereotypes are around those. So Alakir, Wabjam English and Dinka as usual. And I will start by letting Alakir and I explore this. So this conversation is really an open discussion, and we welcome you all to chime in the comment section to ask your question. We are exploring this concept of women in media, women in fashion, and bringing some of real life example to our own communities or our ways of life, and see why women are stereotypically usually represented instead of being represented as people of power of influence. So Alakida, you're very enthusiastic about fashion, so we can start there. Abu Golitan, what do you understand of this, the role of women, and how the world want to reflect women in fashion? What are your thoughts? And please share the conversation.
Yeah, so thank you so much for joining us. We'll be, like Rhoda said, exploring the fashion, women, and women in media. Personally, it's been very interesting topic. These are my opinions. So if you don't agree with it, please feel free to leave your opinions in the chat. We are open to it as a conversation. So, fashion, I believe, has been used as a tool of expression for women to express themselves. And fashion is a language of its own. Like, how can you dress for a specific occasion? How can you dress for your own personal style? How you show up every day in the community, how you look is very important aspect of being a woman. And I believe if you're not a woman or woman identifying, you don't really have to pay attention to how you dress or how you look like. Only a few people do that. And I'm taking an example of our community with the uniform launch. The uniform launch are happening every single year. Not once have I seen uniform launch where men are also dressed in uniform. Another example of uniform, I don't know, uniform historically has been used to differentiate, I don't know, different levels of power or levels of classes. I'm talking about uniforms in school where students have to wear uniform, the teachers don't wear uniform. I think to show, I don't know, if they have authority over them to instill discipline. I really don't get the idea of uniforms in school. Another experience of uniform I've seen growing up is at the church. We used to do the matching masira in Kakuma, and every single church has to select their uniform and they go and match. And it was part of the evaluation of who has done really well in matching and in getting the best uniform. So It has always been part of, I think, stretching it all the way back to our parents' generation. We believe when a young girl has just is transitioning from girlhood to womanhood, they get bought some type of beads. I don't know if it's I don't know. Maybe Rhoda knows the names for them. I only ever wore a jaw. There used to be another one they built and put all the way. I see them on Google. And people used to sell their cow to buy their daughter like their generation uniform, if you will. I don't think there was such thing for men. Maybe there was, but I'm not sure. So it has been a very interesting, evolution and change up to in the modern era. Fashion is really for self-expression. You'll hear things like personal style. You'll hear things like fashion is also a career. So think like um, and the perception is drastically changing to be very negative towards women who dare to be express themselves through fashion, especially in the fashion modeling world. And it's something I don't understand. Maybe you guys can help me understand it. Of wearing a fashion and expressing yourself being taken as a negative, you are being slay queen or you're trying to trick men when it entirely has nothing to do with men. And I'm gonna give you an example. When I go out with my girlfriends, my friends, dress really well and maybe show a little too much skin than I would have if I'm hanging out with men. So it's not really like you show skin to, attract men in my case, but it's showing skin to express yourself. And the most excited people when you really dress up, I don't know if you guys have had an experience of Paul and Dorcas, it's other women saying, "You are so beautiful. I love your dress. I love your shoes. I love your earrings." And I think that is part of connecting as women, part of belonging. So if I bought a new dress and I put it on, and this maybe elderly women stopped me and said, "Oh my God, you are so gorgeous. That dress look amazing on you." It makes my day. Now, if a man says that, it's a little creepy, not gonna lie. So when opinions are being oppressed about how women dress, and we say it is not about men, you should believe it is not. I wanted us to explore this topic of fashion and women because recently I stumbled across um, an African American model on Instagram who's talking about nudity and posing. Nudity in fashion is there's a way to do it. And there's a way to do it in a way that's empowering. That if you pose naked and you're taking back your power and you're expressing yourself, is different from posing for a male gaze. So she's relating an experience for posing for a magazine, and she had different poses. They took a picture, and the director, the photographer, picked a picture that is not depicting her as a powerful woman embodying her own self, but rather as a picture of appealing to the male gaze. And she sounded very mad about that. So I don't know. I guess things I'm wondering about is why fashion is such an important thing for women. Why it's getting such negative reaction. In a way, it is where we find ourselves, where we connect, and where we express ourselves. And that's my opinion. So, Rhoda, what are your thoughts on fashion?
No, like here I just summarize a bit and we're copying you'll about comment contact in the comment section and maybe share the video, maybe they are interested to to add opinion or his opinion to this conversation. We welcome both different opinion as well because then kind of while we grow, we are here to learn from each other and to grow from each other. And so hearing Alaki, reflecting on on this fashion thing from a cultural perspective to like a modern perspective and projecting it to the global stage of modeling industry that has come out of this fashion and ways where women express themselves. Ke ben anum, is that ke lwela ngel ramyo to myo ide. Sometimes when chinin chongulor bi You know what you want to present and what le Dorcas le Tingu le look did you represent it? I totally different otherwise. So maybe I will have to give Dorcas the space to also hear a reflection on this topic of women and fashion and how our society judges the way women present themselves look, and also like the way media captures and try to brainwash people to think in different ways. I don't know, Dorcas, you deal with it from your own experience, and I'm always happy to our community and culture and how we see things. I know in our community, they are selling something other than beauty and look and fashion, which is really wrong because achala kirga golto, but maybe now different insight. Take it away.
Okay. By the way, this is a very fun topic. A very hard time to debate because I think end of the day, the perception of the community, like it varies from the community to another community. Dressing, so to defend the community standard and how the community see that. So when it comes to fashion, okay, let me say, na jam lo yene ko jalum negatively. You know, there are lots. I don't even think in this passion field, but a career field everywhere. I know negativity toward women and everything. Okay, you got him and those educated women, chilo no good job. Are you got you can assume they did not get that job in a good way. Mostly, yes. Why? Because men have taken advantage of women in most cases to use them, right? And those scenarios like ben nyal ka jalu assume that's how it is. And in fact, in most cases, even you still you will go for work, but someone temporarily employ, they can't teach, right? It has come up like most of the men have taken advantage of that, and that has make the community to believe it in that way. Eh? Uh-huh. So a mindset and how this like kurkul diangaro loy je ko ke je ga pinga je lelon tayenya. So chimane kini mane searching for a job right now as a lady. What of no big job is le. Jana no skill no degree no master's school. Some people will still say you the job na kene loyele or kene loya. So elon tayen gina. Ngecho the when it come to passion. Okay, for me, I don't know what I can say, but if na we go reflect back, seeing most of the uh most of the influential women out there in the world today, they or let me say politician in most of the countries, right? I always look at the dressing thing that I always see. Some of them dress so simple, seriously very simple. And okay, one thing that we should know that whether we deny it or what, how we dress, how we dress. Bendo yan man kuchiha ko. Achelon tayo yun baringgalon binalom kana. So kiti mabu consider it. Though achelon tayo yan. Okay, chanan chi toto. I'm not staying alone. I'm staying with many and like anchi to in my own world where I go and buy things in the market alone and do what? I'm with others. And how they perceive me very important at some point. Anong perception when chi gamba lumba lu adapt, anong ki lu adapt. Perception digi chuk lu adapt could be luang e jamarit. So yun chiko bara experience de kene dun gam. You talk. But when it comes to dressing, community yin at least say that anong kudu lo la kay kata ba attention and people alone like they will not go astray or they will not block their ears from what you want to say. So make sure you adapt the culture kala chila we adapt. So when I look at most of the political influential women out there, I think they continue to dress naked or half naked. Let me say like that. Couldn't dress half naked. Why? You can uh you got you go with it. I go away and they are influencing other people. And many people look like look out for them. Eh? Chima, let me say, when you are president today, how you dress will influence the young girls out there. So you make sure that you are naked. You will dress naked. Eh? Because in the go in and no ko yin kun yar kien bigi cheri nede. That's one thing. And also na no dun ko bala loyal maybe no dun ko le lo ngo kilon beni lo mi ade. You should also know that elon yana thing dressing it kind or fashion. So na jokula been to those who are models. So that one, even negativity in that industry, I think ke loy. Kachika loy kwa chiko ja chike ping. Kuka loy ke actually those ladies that are modeling are doing them. Maybe and like, there's something that I just know in this life. People have interest in everything. There. When people have interest in you, they will really try to manipulate you. Seriously. You will manipulate in a way that you will feed them. They use you. So let me say, when it comes to modeling, I don't know more about it, but the fact remains that most of them are getting a Google who exposed it. They expose themselves. I don't know. Your rules for modeling, kayungo, I don't know. Or you want like everything that in that field or in that industry is about attention, right? You want people attention. So then, and you see in the current world we are in today, kawin attention ko jor. Evaluate dressing a naked. Tao picture in naked man jamana call on Facebook and you'll see how to train. I don't know why. But how yeah, or maybe now you might dress like a lady. That one I don't know. People just people just like being that cause you that can cause trouble to you. When you risk hmm? They will talk negatively or maybe some will realize. And so when it comes to modeling industry, I don't really know why, but there was a video I came across. Was it 2011, 20 come? One of
Can
them
I
is
chime
one.
in about the modeling world?
Huh?
Can I answer you when it comes to modeling? I
Okay.
have a little bit of experience, maybe 5 years more or less in the modeling world, and
Wow.
the way to think about it is your body is the product.
I see.
And when you see people posting naked, it
I
really is
see.
not for anyone. It's for your client, right? It's not
Mm-hmm.
completely naked, but you dress as little as possible to show your shape, your measurements, how you express yourself. So the way clothes are sold is how you how I love you or how I love you, and I look this way, and a call and Adich, you see me posing in that photo, you're most likely going to buy that dress, right? Because it looks so good on a model. I don't know if you do online shopping, but I think that's the appeal to it.
I see.
And in modeling, I think it's more like the models become so comfortable in their own skin that they don't get how people can react so negatively to their body. Like for example, if you go casting, you need to wear a really a top that hug your body, like it doesn't have space between your skin and your body, and then really tiny shorts. So most of the time is yes, you could be told by your agency, don't be wearing too baggy clothes because nobody's gonna know how their if a designer look at your Instagram, they don't know how their dress is gonna look on you if they haven't seen you with minimal clothing. So they will have to imagine how this dress is gonna look on a model and then most likely hire you. And these models are out there to make money. So of course they gotta do what they gotta do. They also are, yeah, I said very comfortable with minimal clothing because you've put on clothes and take them off so many times in front of so many people while you're taking photos. So it becomes like this community that understand, okay, if you're naked and you're a model, you're doing it to get a job. I'm not saying entirely models that go naked are doing it for a job. I'm saying yes, there is another extreme where you become too comfortable and you're posing naked and now you get a negative backlash. But the models have mentioned some of them have done nude photo shoot, and the nude photo shoot, I said there's a way you can do it to be empowering. There's a way you can do it. I know at this point in our community, people will not understand, but I'm just going to bring it back in terms of career and fashion modeling. This girl in Angola, Chol Maria, she is a model. most likely has done nude. But she's also an ambassador for her country. She would go to different countries representing Angola. So the fact that she has built her she's an expert in fashion, in business, in getting recognition all over the world, this is something she can bring back to her country and use it in a way that is positive, right? So our immediate reaction could be, oh, this girl has a naked picture on Instagram. Um, how could she be a ambassador for Angola? But it does happen a lot more than we think. Angie from Nigeria, I think, also been in those diplomatic meetings. Angie's, I don't know if you know her, but she is in media. She was in one of the drama Rich, Young, and African, express herself through fashion, and has gained expertise in being recognized. And that can be valuable to any field. Like I'm saying, a model who was once naked can run for president, is all I'm saying. It
And
doesn't have to be
we
limited
start
because
with that,
she's
and
once
Akira
was
Karwala
naked.
way back to our community, right?
Yeah.
Because our culture before Ben clothes invented, or Ben before Ben walk up modern, being naked, I think I cherish. Even right now, na recruiting, I nudes. I
Mhm.
call you have been seen pictures para okay, and they are naked. They are not model. That cultural model, I think.
Or quite take a good duel.
You
Come
are
on,
quite
you naked.
educated, real who I jolly try, quite a lot touch. And I try, and I just been jiga cologne, and that's where people look really bad. But they look model, I can jab chat, especially long pandy, I don't know, I haven't seen a coach attached to it from our side, pan board. But long bargazal, and the coaching in a giant yet a bill. Chuan, who you know, Ariane everywhere. Like I can get in Calanda where I live, and you are the most beautiful thing on earth that people can't be watch you with your boy. And some of these photos I've been live. And these people are community leaders, right? They call it I youth leaders. I respect it. And they have been seen naked by people even coach it or and nyiri and nyirake yari and binyan didiom nyiri toy digom. Like in the past, it used to be something of beauty of expressing yourself, being a Rian. The problem can commercialize, right? A local cultural, uh, value when you consume, but I can your sentimental value ka Iran, Luyen, expressing ka but I can really like monetary value, man modeling, call alone and we don't mean to don't work so you are actually selling something. So I don't know
Okay.
how that perspective become different, right? I agree
Uh-huh.
with perspective
Yes,
in
yes.
Dorcas and it's like there is some, a very space to in matters. What they practice matter. Even culture then culture are in many villages, but around Juba Grana in Rwanda, I just think that pani jeng the bacha di chuba na bar madina ki you have to bacha war mukuli
Yeah.
which pinja ki nera an go lore village you have to dress you are in the city so that one maybe I can give you 1 second here lucky because I was interrupting your thought to reflect on that a little bit and mark those two because experience in both worlds.
Okay, let me
Then
add this one. What have you done?
okay, then Dorcas take it away.
Okay, I like you. By the way, children, some more detail about the industry bay. So what I think today from the fashion industry that your body is a product. You get the product that you have there. And so if your body is your product, then you have to show it. You have to show it. And let me say, all of you models, they want to see how they are created like nye cha. So you are showing that beauty that you have in your product, your body, your product. So when it comes to that, everything in this life we are passionate. Go do nyaka hilo. Okay. So when it comes to fashion industry or let me say modeling, okay, those that go there, they should go knowing that their body and product is something that we are going to what? To show. Ayan ka yan will pay, kuyen ka will survive. Uh-huh. Kabajalo imi janyo pin, does it really relate, or do you have such values? Like, do you want do you love it? Or do you feel happy or comfortable when you're like when you're showing your body? So ran be ja loy in ka bujani ping jigde jelwel. And the fact remains me janja umbrella. You know, being a woman in this life is not easy. It's not, honestly, it's not easy. You'll go to school with the boys and you will search for the job with the boys. And when you become a CEO like a boy, they will say, Lord, didn't it? Why? Because one of system in the community will said for that much. And I don't think you pass through, people have to question themselves, right? The same way na I know cool ke yini mo kura wera ni people have to question you because society chita or yini chita ya. The same way society and system when che diar chi most diar che ganyo ni entity na le nyo ni ke ma ko jam. People have to question it. People have to say Lord, okay, and they say it. And it's something you will control. We cannot manage it. You find yourself there, Mama, stay there and maintain your position. Let people talk actually about it. So be bang passion. I really don't know what I can say because you have to dress in a way that to expect people because your body is in the product and people have to see your body how you are created. But I had that na lat ko ka lonjeni cha. Okay, let me say lonjini cheng awel. Lonjini cheng lonjeni cha count to the final one. Your let me say lonjini invent kin a best and mobile. So Nesha do count that could jalan chibel dress. If you like it and you are comfortable with it, okay. And you want to go, there's nothing I can tell you because it's something that you want. And people are earning there, people are surviving, people are making money. If you are okay with it, those negative things in that field, aka we need to use boy in most of the field. Yendi are in use because one of system that really deny us, right? So it might mean say you in that field ku maybe manager do only below use na chikini chulu and chilo ile kincha lui promote or yin chingwa chilo. Then you will end up being used. You really end up being used. There are a lot of things today that are not really good. Most of the girls are going through, let me say, for let me say, there are a lot of industry that always want to expose your nakedness and you are paid. And mostly, most of the women that usually go there, you're being desperate, right? You are desperate. You really have nothing, but you really need to survive, or you need money. You need to become rich very fast. Even chala you chikor, you need pinya chikor. You really disagree with it. Even your values are chill, but you put yourself into that. Then at the end, maybe you regret, or you are doing that when you are not happy. That is drama. You're not happy, but because you need money very fast, or a peer pressure, inchira inchi nong nyare gini yin chilo in that field while we thrive very well. You want to be like her, but your passion and your goal and your like or interest are chip nyanti. So you project push into that, but knowing that you don't like to expose yourself. And you do that when you're not happy, then that one there is not good for your peace of mind. So you should not do that and you do what you love. If na education ka yung or other thing, then you do them and don't do it because someone has done it. Maybe lawyer auntie because a lawyer post that or no lawyer post that. But a lot of things at the end, a lot of careers at the end, and you can regret in a man, honestly. Because you become a mother later and your child will see those videos and you see a lot of things. So you choose what is really good for you and what you like. And get your the other. There are some things that when we like them, but you see you will be used or no kawin chicken then you can change. You can change that. Really? And to defend with what you want. Then I know which are called the channel called jam. Got to would you have now with a can you would think I think another bit carapet kitila pidin hate to be. Kujela that check dinner pity. Aha, kujayan quill. Yan kaya kuna chang ya madina ranya nga dia mujirum. Chinkla pilo ijay no way de. Or I mujirum. Banata wouldn't jam mujirum. Why? Ajanja dialal kuminto yitin defend kuminto yitin. Let me say, mojang e blimun ter, men ya, ko bia chang bia ting chana loj. Aha. ana kor minda kor le me chinja me mi kor nyandi di ra biting di ya mi kor nyandi do muban. That's why en ga
Yeah.
yake chenga.
And even when it comes to your body is your product because you will not cover yourself with a beating. Be jating adi.
Eh, I tell you. And then
So
na chi tiak, na chi
eh,
tiak. Chi be pora be che kala pilai chi chinga pin cha ti. You yin ti dia kon Afrika ima be tara yen mala di te. Ujara be di te.
because I just act, they're not looking big a thing anymore. And
Eh,
I just wanted to bring it
No,
back
you
to
guys are actually becoming funny. I never thought about that. You know, I can't think about it. I just got a queer, I didn't just
yeah, yeah.
eh.
I'm
So
not saying it's
environment
exclusively.
really influence. It's
Yeah, sorry
environment
I ditched to cut
influence.
you off. I'm not saying it's exclusively because we dress up for women. Some instances you dress up for a man. Now, if you're going on a
for
date, you want to make
attraction.
an
Definitely.
impression. Nobody's walking around with microscope to see your personality. They will first see you how you dress. Now, if you don't dress well, maybe there's no second, third day to know your personality. So yes, even in modeling world, actually 100% safe. You could get exposed to unwanted attention if you are naked or if you end up in a wrong room with the wrong person.
Mm-hmm.
I know like some people have gone through that, and it's not, I would say it's not entirely on being a model or being naked or being in that room. Like we've all experienced quite a lot through some sort of violence, and there's just no reason to explain it. Rather than rantically violence is wrong,
Mm-hmm.
right? We
Yeah,
cannot
sure.
blame the victims.
Okay.
Um, I like how you say the fashion is, you know, the place and the time for it, right? So Nato Juba and where could spaghetti strapple ala been randang baby or being moinum.
I'm
Like
telling you.
such negative reaction
Actually,
is what
payment,
is
I like to cook a lot for passport. You will go a pair of watch, but you're not going to a few with one. You
Jatinda. Jatinda, and then when you go to Shirkat, where no kacha waka chin kota let nyiro long or long, and they don't
Mm-hmm.
even care.
Yeah.
So I
So
know
environment
it's about time and place.
and time.
And Kulu and awareness raised today is to fashion is storytelling. And storytelling has to be from the person who's telling the story. This is who I am. This is my story. If you don't like it, keep your opinion to yourself. That's what I want people to start giving women that space to express themselves. Ache bulwel oh ache kweche so joki chinki loyenum. Of course, the brain is still there. You see the body, but no mangot kato attached to the body. Why would you think they're stupid because they're dressed in a way you don't like, right? And I really think that in this world, you're always selling some part of your body. If you choose Bianum doing bagage, fine, do it. If you choose Biago doing bagage, fine, do it. Right? Ye chindu, bala purki lo bala pur. Bala wekupara nenge wakich. We are all desperate. Akobai nambulu you can do it. Huh? We are all desperate. In capitalism, chiran piol book. Yeah, I know we can talk about its empowerment, yes, but even then, law so cool kubala when kubala lui office it can it's also a desperate situation because nane when luyan provide, why would I be there by ngang can
Yeah,
Like in very right with Jerome partial, your comment is on point. And also, one what delegate you say, I say hi to you too. You guys are becoming so funny.
So when we talk about the fashion, we understand what is the story. The story is a story of self-expression. Who's telling the story? The person who has been dressed. And then if you are the one looking, you're the one reading the story. You know, chitman babuk lago chinchara and you chibung de go. You don't necessarily agree with it, but you read it and move along. Most of the time, you don't have opportunity to express your unwanted opinion. You just read color kila. So when I say fashion is a storytelling for women, is expressing who they are, especially if you choose to express yourself by the way you talk, by all means, but that doesn't mean it's safe from negativity either. In the bainum luel luel nyan ngaki chimio kila jam yuta. But you could also choose to express yourself how you look. War baka cheng kabaga tawi alan batawi ko when people see and somebody get the story right achi kwena pet kwachi what you're trying to express. And I'm talking about this random lady saying, oh my god, you look amazing, I love this dress. They have read the story and they understand and they reflect that. So I would be very happy and say thank you, oh wow, you're so kind. Lakini aya na chika dan kwai kwai ni kule ben kule walai nyir ka nga ka ka chenga menes ka da achie ka chaka tinga ka chiguria moai ka yuga kor. Sir, we can go to the office and work, but if we choose to dress up and go on the street, let us go on the street. Chawa chalao. Ciao, ciao. I know not everyone can agree with this, but that is part of advocacy. Environment really matters. I don't expect you to understand adage that expressing yourself through fashion or none of Alatiko is a thing. It's already there panajiem on there. I heard a story and ending story tapping kalwen and muji a choke cheng juan. Go care panajiem. Go care.
Yeah,
Achan yen
I
cheng juan.
think so. I know that. But I like in young boy in like ranking. Jalwan no talio. But Jalwell to me. Like you have
Eh,
to wear Ariane, wear official.
So over time, the perception of fashion it changes. It changes. Erogear, erogear. And we have to understand generation Towotin and their way of expressing themselves through fashion is the way of expressing themselves through fashion. I'm not saying Aminyani chala chat kitchen in the park. That's not the case. But if she choose to wear a miniskirt at a certain age, and I know in a coloring then you have to be able to be flexible and understand Richard gear. Kwachi rindo. And I chara pinky chair in koi wan chite. Calm down. We know you care, you want to protect people from unwanted attention, but also it's limiting that coloring yinga a chena koja cheke nya. I was Baga Kakuma. Kajala Diralorium lad. I'm not a big fan. Like I don't like the crowd, the loudness, the people sweating all together. Kujokala rujuru chekada chito kala ben by. I don't go. And my auntie was like, man, one month. Eka loy jang yibela bala tinti jang ka ken loitin. That's a desire for her for me to be part of my generation. Akor ku bat bala. Ba kaya rinda ka loy bakala tingi. Yena chela lor. Lakini every Sunday tingi en kaji kala lor. Wan biya let ke be bakawak. Alo yang chila la. Ba bela ting. Ba dira lor. I have different reasons for avoiding it. One of them is yes, all the sweat mixed together, it's not the best, but there is a place.
Like
Yes.
you are making me remember Kakua now. That's so funny. Don't consider Medina skinny child. Maybe it don't find it back in South
Yeah.
Sudan.
No, I'm
But
just
yeah,
gonna say it because kaya jala lor, I like a lot of jopo. Joka kat. Nyan kai tita. And only be dom chin with you, this very strong man.
of course, right?
I love pink dia. Na
Especially
kanya dom cool.
for what I like it. Wait, tall guys. I tell you, I want one of Marco. You know what? See us. But I did used to go and share a lot actually for different reasons. But not. Alright. I think a milk and chicken the future and a few of them did good so that I'm
That is trauma. Anti kurba bella bella wir kan koi dir.
Yeah. Kalala, I say.
So Kaloirinya, and because of the social media, the fashion idea very open to everyone. On Teraya magazine. So if you cannot afford the magazine la lot, a chinge a fashion model, a chicheng alam ko or a pose naked. But Imandana eating on Instagram. And yes, people get inspired and say they want to be fashion model, they want to do this, they want to go and make money. Achi Kojo, retired or failed model, depending on how you look at it, is right here. that to report back, like fashion modeling is a business, and if you don't understand that, it's not going to be easy for you to make it. You can get lucky, yes, tell a viral, and you get a really good management, and you get really um, good money out of it. Good for you. Like you need to work hard to build your portfolio, to build your following, to build to get client, to show up to 30 castings and you don't get booking. That is a test of faith, and only few people can make it. Goya acting, anything in the media, acting, fashion, modeling. Ayana kacholala bake. We are casting for a fashion model. Say a whole curating fashion brand. Yena achi season summer collection. It's your collection. I let ko baka this summer achi loy. Yena jo kono model baka bi chien ko kujaka sur kujaka to watch magazine it. Achana go ko alet ka bin watch. So she will organize a casting, and there's maybe 100 people like Rhoda called because alet can watch, and there's maybe 300 people like myself as models called big group can go come. It will show up to modeling casting, 4 to 5 casting in a day. Kuladu by Chingicha book. It's very difficult, right? To deal with that mentally, the rejection. You show up, there's 30 or 300 beautiful people just like yourself, so a business, and I can date you lot in just because it looks good on Instagram, you're in for a big shock. And then the other thing is, I started when I was 20, so I think I was pretty much rooted in my identity, who I am, and less likely to go into peer pressure. There are a lot of pitfalls, quite a lot in, and my heart goes out to these little girls. They call it a refugee camp, could be Paris, Kubu Kanakapin, when they don't even know. Some of them don't know the language, and it's a very awkward place. Now, of course, you get into a desperate situation, and when you're desperate, the world is not friendly. Like anybody who's desperate, Rana will take advantage of you. So yeah, just wanted to raise awareness on that. Nainya anti yeah, can you know Kabbalah? Be a model in Paris. Like tell them exactly you're gonna be in a new place by yourself, with not stable income because it depends. Now, can you book a cooler or for those 30 days? You be run to Charpinidi. You be chum to know. Even when the transport you should know. You be will be kala which I'll let you to know because in a model you need to look good. And that looking good is not cheap. It's very expensive. So I'm just gonna stop there. Rhoda,
No,
if
I
you
like
want to
before
add.
Banatu Nang Dorcas, and
Yeah.
thank you, Ruben Panchol, our U10 champion. I like a big comedian, very quiet but powerful.
And then, yeah,
Reflection, get a kakuma. But yeah, teacher Alakir Alakir has been in this industry for a few years before when we retire or find a make a U-turn, and she has experience, and this is what she brings to the U-turn table. When we advocate here for women empowerment, we provide information, and information Shalakir providing a very informed information that young people right now this modeling thing, people are looking for a cheap alternative, and being refugees or displaced people, way vulnerable, way soft target because you can easily be used. And now, like people are going to those places to big mystic or big like yacht in the name of modeling. And sometimes I'll book or be cake na borana can identity there cannot grounded into what they want. Okay, easy, but bello into this crazy world. So I just want to emphasize that no man ku nyan ku or one mood. Now they look for model both young men and young girls. And this is the world is crazy. People take advantage of each other. The men eat world, the men eat man world. And so now no men who in displacement in refugee camp, and they're desperate to get out of the refugee situation or to get out of the desperate circumstances. And then now people are coming to take advantage of those, and they can use some benign use for organ, transplant. Or they can drag into pornography or things that are not good. So sometimes we need to have that information that
Yeah.
desperation, don't use desperation to kill you. I advocacy, I think Korjala Kir, Korbe around, but it's still grounded in, if you have interest and you have the body and everyone, and not today, brain, your bodies, your clothes, whatever you are selling, whatever you are selling, you have to have values. And principle on how to best sell your gifts, because now you work in different gifts, and you have to also get advice or information on call who are already selling that to help you to back during your life. So in case you can't emphasize, don't just take it away into interrupt me.
Okay. This is really very important topic, and I really like this thing. The recently this week, along we discuss. We have in our school we have female forum, and we discuss about female, and the discussion was about how social media is now influencing young guys' life, right? So, the negativity it is causing out to young guys in social media, and this was really a very good topic. Right now, can you guys on social media ben a junior but in core attention and in core views because in will pay, and so you have to do anything possible. Okay, so and mostly tell you that community and system to establish already that though generally vary from community but it's still the system at all, and that system is always biased against a woman. Yeah, and you can see how women dress today. Man, I know you dressing I'm naked. They will perceive it that you need people attention. In got attention ku in because I wrote back about the network. And maybe let me say today a lot of people idea to by way to please men. Honestly, Jimana how by that woman what is that? Because men need ladies to drink nice. Yeah, Jamana. So then you'll find yourself in why job check cái đàn này chi về lấy cái check để đơn way cái check you don't know if there's a way now they can make people to be told many people who have gone for that. People have suffered in this world. Being short is another problem. So if there was a way maybe check up people have the short people who have gone and we are told. The same way, let me say, there's a way community perceive or when women to look like or to dress like and all those things. Yang we chat and kon lo nung this nyiri bele sigi kan lo ben gala ngata ko 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 cha ga ti ti nyam bele sigi nung ja cha a ti nyam bele sigi no ko ti nyam bele tingi tarangwe ta ge ungi ko ti nyam bele ting to edir. That's what I've just realized. So shaving and see like a shape corn get shape. I don't know you rek like you, but any shape called society be at her. A hinting dear Yan Bessy. We now will need. Jel tau la cái la tin chin ti ni jan ya jalo la ku diar apia de lo thong ku pia ka kin be lo be diar gole ja ka ko tin ya be tin je diar gole ya hu ana diar nya ke ko jala la ri ri angum butin ka ku ya jara. That one, that's how the community want the women to look like, right? So that's the shanty you and I know you chibala ko ka tweet ya. Because that's how they want women to look like. Then my innocent sisters who need to please men will go for surgeries. Ura surgery banang book dirke nangum dite. Because that's what the society want. That one is not healthy for you, honestly. Because at the end you want to please others, you may get sickness like cancer or what. It is you to die alone, right? So, and the system that community has really said today is really biased toward women, honestly. And when women now try to reflect and they work toward what the community want, like people for surgery, ka bugu belu anga bela for surgery, ku belu be cheer. But that's what they want. That's what they want in court. And okay, now what do we do? That's what the community expect. Let me say, especially now. When I did kelo haka je nya je tianga ngum kene. Kra ngum chege bene lu ne ke jata kan. Nge chege de nya de la in ja chia na man je to pye. That's problem. They don't want set. They actually like that's not how they want it to be, right? Ayo in ja chua na man je to ngwe bit. Huh? In ja chua na man wen ngada ke ra kwa chola ri. Ko be ayen de la wo chola.
Yeah, Pancho, really can be the pigamu. So our people have been into Nyash before Nyash start trending.
Eh. And I like into a lot of cream, I and I cream. Cutting up and yummy. I and I cream. To do a cheer while you are hacker. So when you come to this thing, this is really overwhelming. And when you look at this thing, if you just want to do key quite relevant, then at the end you will lose yourself. And you live and have meaningless life. Life when you're good, but you don't feel happy, but you're doing it to please others. Raka chol kin tiger. Raka chin taram ngi nyan ngadikin you go and do those surgeries. Then at the end you suffer. So the question come here: what do we do? Like, what do we tell the young girls uh, among all these challenges? So the thing remain that remain yourself. Then at the end, remain yourself. And man is general again. Another man is married, another man is poisoned. There's that man that will love you with your justice, but and the one who need big nyai will go for those no big nyai to get China with big nyai. The one who need those brown guys, let them go for brown girls. For you who is black, they will leave you, and this one who will like you with your dark color will come for you. That's for the girl to come to marriages and what, because marriage is part of life and being a demand is part of life. A lot of things happen really like that make young girls to forget about themselves and they try to play their community. This is really too much. And you, in the process of you pleasing them, they are still blaming you and still discussing about you. And the more they will know these are your opinions, they will not be married you, they will just use you and damn you. Because they don't know how to picture one. They don't know how to picture one. So everything that women are doing today is to please men. And if none of they are can do it because they want to please themselves or they like it, that will be better and good. Then bagada halo because you want to please others. That one there is not working. And if you like it, right? You like it and you should make research about it. The same thing when you're choosing a career now, you make research about the career. Let me say, for software engineering, they always say if you like sitting down for good hours, then go for it. Mm-hmm. Are you someone who is sitting, but ready to talk to one killer for it, or into a specialize a lot killer for it? Mm-hmm. When it comes to, let me say, by a lawyer, maybe someone who specializes a lot, Quran kuna curricular rate, Quran like you think critically about because problems can happen there and you have to solve them. So to defend, when you're going for modeling, you which community lay into than modeling and how do they perceive, how will they perceive you, right? So let me say, man modeling man South Sudan tan juba elwala nyajla te ya gwit why because like you rock la lu nyir na kacha na che you rock lu nyir you ko chula won kula ku chuga jam ku lu dress of lor pandun and they will not use you like that kachiran ja kachilwala ka gwi ka te don't expose you to expose you and it will take it will make those that will have control over you that are going to market you they are going to like be low market kuluki in design movement they have to use you even be young na korbala in this position movement. That's it. That's it. And in every field, I know negative point that are there. So if you are ready for all those things, maybe you can go for it. If you are not ready for them and actually you will not be happy with them, then you do the money and not happy, don't go for it. Go for what you think is good. Like sit down, make lawyer martin rodu we gonna go for it. The fact remain we are everything when a product and we are selling it. Come here, duty and talking. We are selling your voice, we are selling your mind, we are selling all your ideas. Something, yeah, because in your jam and share your ideas with other people. Get the same thing and they're going to be passion. It might jam your body, your product. Are you in harmony with it? Like, do you like selling your body? Or do you like selling your mind? Or do you like doing other things? So you go for it. And when you go for it, it's still, I will urge you, those girls that go for that, beginner, the same, you still have values. And say no to misuse in that field. Say no to those that want to misuse you. Make sure you stick to your goals, right? Maybe now you're selling your body, maybe actually you can expose is fine. But don't just go and allow yourself to be used anyhow the way that when you don't want to cost some money. Still you have to have limit and control. In category well ten when it come to that. And also okay, it's my jam to defend the environment and the people that you're influencing. Man, a politician, you know, one of the women that is a political out there. How you dress, you have to really dress well, right? Because I know there are those that are following you, those that also want to be like you, when how you talk, how you speak. So to defend with that. But we can even and again, we should not make sure we just have that bad negative that attitude toward them, eh? Because they're also trying to do what they like. Yes, for those that go there because they like it. And maybe we have to also encourage them to make sure when they're in the field there, or take it and get values keep and they do what make them to go there. Saying no to what is not supposed to be part of their career. And they go for it. That's what I can say. There's nothing that I can add more about that. And the fact remains we have a system in the community that is always biased and against women, regardless of the field how what and bukan allow to please others at the end, they will still criticize us. And there's nothing that I see there. So you have to be yourself, your values, and do what you feel like you're happy doing it. I
Wow,
can see.
you put it so nicely. Um, to the 7 people watching, please share if you find this conversation very insightful. Do share it with your, put it on your wall. You have young sisters, you have young nieces who are on social media. They're seeing this fashion everywhere. They're having this desires to go do fashion. And they need to understand Kikabalura will is safety first. Like wherever you are, wherever you're doing your work, you're not office it for interview and you notice it's not a safe place, please leave. If you're dressing up for your fashion modeling and you end up in a corner wouldn't just safe for you, you just need to think about those things. And this is a knowledge ben as you grow older that when your parents are telling you don't stay out shoe late, don't dress like this when you go to the market, they actually are protecting you. And the protection is benela when for people who've gone through those experiences, say you are in the wrong place at the wrong time and you get abused, that's a scar that never goes away. You have to live with that for the rest of your life. And as a parent or somebody who care about a young person, you have to tell them that you like it. I ya kulor attention that you don't need lolly attract, then you might get hurt. And that hurt nobody can protect you from. Now if you hurt in that way, it's something that's gonna stay with you. Protect. You're gonna live with that memory. You're gonna think about it a lot, and it's another trauma to deal with once you're older. So treat it in danger. Like you on top of you have na lord kakuma 3 or lord zone 1 walk in groups. Ye chat can near or yago ranting with each other can away because yes, men are gonna respect another man and not approach you or harm you in any way. And story here is I went to Nairobi for the first time, I think 2015 or 2014. In my mind, this is a city. This is where people dress up like they want to dress. Nobody should be able to judge you. I put on my very short dress. I was walking around with somebody's son. This Mama Mboga came out and say, "Oh, look at this Sudanese prostitute, blah 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 blah." I realized my understanding of the Nairobi is different from the reality. Maybe I was at the wrong side of Nairobi. That teenage kake, Biela Chol, prostitute, Sudanese prostitute, really doesn't know me. Like they just saw me, Kanal Cheng, and they're like, "Yep, that's who she is." And of course, people are going to make that assumption. It in way Labina control what they think of you based on how you've dressed up. So what I'm learning from that is I hadn't done enough research. The neighborhood level chatting in Nairobi and Kin Colatin, DNA pin, Diara Mboga. Obviously, I don't think they've been in the modern scene of Nairobi where people wear short shorts and miniskirt and go to a club and all that. So it's a learning moment for me. So at that moment, had I talked back, had I, acted out, it could have been unsafe for me as a foreigner in that country, just because of Chinjan. So I'm saying safety first. And when you do your research, now Corbala modeling a queen law research do, think of it like this. That one post on Instagram, Chinaran Luo Secure selling a product and they take a really good photo, might have taken 2 days of constantly posing, changing, um, and even before the day Jennifer should tell a lawyer, it might have taken them a 3 hour casting call. 3 hour casting coach in a lineage. You can coach a lineage for 3 hours during the day. Let's say it's 1 month before you get the job. During the day, 3 hours, 300 other models that are beautiful, just like yourself, are going for that specific job. And then one person get lucky, they get called back. They try on the clothes, and then they make the final decision, and you are able to go and do that job. So when I say it is a business, modeling is a business. It's not just that one picture chatting it on Instagram. You don't know how that picture came to be. It could have been 3 days of somebody's life that they put into it. They put in so much work, and then the photo is up there. The photos, yes, are intended to sell the clothes, and sex appeal does sell. So obviously, at some circumstance, you will end up with Ran, your director, and they want to showcase something that you're not comfortable with. Now you have to make a choice: proceed with it and get paid, or withdraw and not get paid. So wherever you are in Korea, you make tough decisions. There's always something that's gonna come up that will require you to compromise your values to get the dollar. So how you compromise, what you compromise on, is what Dorcas was talking about having values. In the value show up to an interview, value your secretary, and the person who's supposed to hire you demand something. Like if you don't do this, you're not getting a job. That's also asking you to compromise on your values. You should get a job because you have a qualification, but you're being asked something completely different from your qualification. So I would say safety first. So you're Karbakaya model or Karbakalu in the office, there's always going to be a time where it's going to be harmful or it's going to be challenging because into law school age, you get good grades, you show up to interview, and people just insult you with weird demands. So it happens. Yeah. So knowing yourself, go back and watch the presentation I did on self awareness. Knowing yourself is going to come from what makes you uncomfortable. So if something makes you uncomfortable, sit with it, write it down, ask yourself, why does it make you uncomfortable? And if you were to compromise on this 10 years down the line, will you be comfortable sharing the story of that one time you compromised to get money? So, Akwalkur, you go next.
Thank you, Wenyir. What a powerful U-turn message for both of you. We're going to walk. I think this message has been very powerful. Walk and jam about women in fashion and how the media perpetuates some stereotypes about women and how society in general put women in places where they are vulnerable. Of course, in every career, and we are talking about careers in different ways or how we sell things. I think Ben encompasses. So while our conversation has been majorly advising young women, men are also included in all ways because together every one of us are courage. And sometimes courage a little bit in compromise when you are negotiating with people that can take advantage of you, people of power that can take advantage of, even when you are negotiating within your family. For example, you have to decide to work for 18 hours a day when you're supposed to work for at least 8 hours a day so that but long rest, you're actually compromising your health. So in every aspect, right, there are ways where you will have to give up something for something. And what you can message that these ladies and I joined them is safety first. Like it's protect yourself from yourself. That is, you have to know your values. You have to know your principle. You have to know your who is what do you want to be in this world, or how do you want to be perceived, or how do you position yourself in this world, and then protecting yourself. Now, cannot come from yourself. The non-negotiable coup. Now you cannot go to the world and negotiate and let them know that this is the real life. When you reach here, I'm out either by balato with dignity, then we are not compromise with your live a life of regret. So take away my people. What we showed our bull show short because it's very strong message and it has to be precise so that we can in that protect yourself from yourself, kill your woman because why God so in a why special people in this world? Why powerful and special? Because that power could be paid to watching and by everybody, and we have to protect it from ourselves and not from the world. And also, know what you can negotiate with the world and what you cannot. That is my takeaway. So, what on the U-turn? We are an empowerment platform. We share ideas, we share experiences, we share insights on issues, relevant topics. Ben ran kro jala miochi for day. So in K U10 Gospel of today, why Ben live every Saturday, sometimes Friday to accommodate some of our U10 members from different part of the world. And the mission is to continue advocating for U10 for our society to move forward in a good way. So in K messenger, thank you, Coach Rirkan Walk. Thank you, Uncle Amol. Thank you, Belly. Hi, boy. Thank you, Ruben. Thank you, everyone that is with us today. Now, can we show that you see you next Saturday? We will be talking about women in business. We'll be spotlighting a women business that we would want your support to share that empowering work that women are doing, creating business for their families and for society. So thanks for always being with us. Share the message and have a wonderful weekend. Nelly Jen Wick, and thank you, wonderful ladies. What a wisdom that you shared today. God bless you all.